talk about season 5, episode 10 of Seeking Sister Wife. I was starting to get sad because I was thinking maybe the next episode's going to be the season finale, but I looked it up and apparently there's going to be 14 episodes this season, so we're almost to the end, but we still have 3 more episodes left to go. Dannielle went down to Brazil to be there for Nathalia and Garrick's wedding, and when she first got down there, she was walking around like a sad little puppy with her head down, but ever since she found out that Garrick and Nathalia are no longer getting married in Brazil, she cannot contain her excitement. It almost makes me wonder, did somebody tip off immigration and that's how they found out about Nathalia and Garrick? Like, I'm sure they did a Google search like they said, but it's almost like I could see Dannielle calling immigration and then being like, oh yeah, it's God's plan. Dannielle, Garrick, and Nathalia were all sitting on the couch and they were talking about how they were sad about the wedding, and then Dannielle was like, well, it's probably God's plan, but we got this baby, the baby, and she's just smiling and giggling. She was looking like how a teenager does after their first time smoking weed. That's how she was laughing, just nonstop, and you could tell that it was getting on Nathalia's nerves. She was just over it at that point because her and Garrick had been trying to get pregnant for the past 6 weeks while he was up in Brazil, and they didn't have any luck, and they just took a pregnancy test just a few days before Dannielle found out she was pregnant. So she was supposed to be the one having a baby and getting married, and here's Dannielle stealing all the attention away from Nathalia and now getting pregnant. And honestly, just the way that Natalia's moving, I don't think she wants Dannielle in the picture long term. If she did, I feel like she would be trying to get to know Dannielle, and her lifelong sister wife, but she's not really putting much effort into anybody except Garrick. Now that Dannielle is pregnant, it's going to be even harder for Nathalia to get Dannielle out of the equation. And I don't understand, why the hell is Nathalia trying to have a baby with Garrick right now? She doesn't even know if she's going to be able to come to America. And she can't even marry Garrick in Brazil. And unless he plans to move to Brazil full time, then she's not even going to be able to really be around the baby. Either she's going to have to raise the baby alone, or if he raises the baby, then Natalia's not going to be there until they figure things out, and they don't even know if things are going to work out with the whole visa. I just think that is incredibly irresponsible. Here's Garrick once again jumping the gun without even knowing what is going on or thinking into things at all. And what do they think? Like, she's gonna get pregnant and then magically they're gonna get granted a visa? Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It was Garrick's last day in Brazil and his birthday, so him, Dannielle, and Nathalia all decided to go have a nice dinner. So they're all sitting there eating and chatting, and Nathalia tells Garrick, I'm gonna miss you, last day. And this is another thing that shows me that Nathalia is just in it for strictly Garrick, because if she really cared about building on a sister wife relationship with Dannielle, then I feel like she would make Dannielle feel more included. And when she's like, I'll miss you, I would have been like, well, I'm gonna miss you guys. I would be talking to them as a whole. But you can tell that Nathalia is just zeroed in on Garrick. Like, look at the Davis family, for example. They don't just say, oh, I love you, and just talk to one of them. They say, I love you guys. And when you see Nick talking to his wife, he's not just talking to one of them and putting his focus on one of them. He's talking to them as a whole, as a group. The only time we see them have conversation between Nathalia and Garrick and Dannielle is when Dannielle is usually the one forcing it and starting the conversation. So they decide, Dannielle decides that she wants to see the baby. So they all jump in the car and they go and get an ultrasound. I did feel a little bad for Nathalia in this moment, because here's Dannielle smiling and crying and having this special moment with Garrick that Nathalia wants so bad. but here she is trying to get pregnant, hasn't had any luck, finding out that she can't marry him, and you could tell she's going through it. And the ultrasound seemed like the last place she wanted to be at the time. And that's another reason I feel like she's not involved in helping raise Dannielle's kids and having her part of the family, because you would feel like even if she was depressed, she would try to show a little bit of excitement, be like, that's my future baby, I can't wait to help raise him. But we weren't getting any of that from Nathalia. It just seemed like Nathalia was like, damn, this is really happening. It doesn't seem like she wants Dannielle to be a part of the picture at all. Later on, they all decided to go back to the Airbnb, and Nathalia had all her friends that were supposed to come over for the wedding and for the wedding party. Well, now that the wedding is no longer happening, they just decided to still come over and see Nathalia and meet Garrick and Dannielle. And they come over and they're supposed to have like a good night, getting to know each other, enjoying each other's company. But instead, it took a left turn quick. So they all sit down and they're talking about the baby on the way, and everything seemed like it was in good spirits. But then Dannielle starts breaking down, saying she feels like Nathalia is not trying to build on their sister-wife relationship, and she's talking about how important it is to her, and she just wants Nathalia to pay more attention to her. And her friend spoke English, so she was helping translate what Dannielle and Nathalia were saying to each other. And when Dannielle started breaking down, it just killed the whole vibe, and you could tell that Nathalia was so annoyed. And you could see that Garrick could see that Nathalia was annoyed, Dannielle was upset, and he starts breaking down, talking about, I just want you guys to be sisters, because that's what I'm really in this for, is for the sister wives. Okay, dude, shut up. You're really in it so you can bang young Brazilians. That's the real tea right there. Because if it was really about building a sister-wife relationship and saying that's the most important part out of all this, then he would put that as the main focus. He would be having them go out and get to know each other and build a relationship before Garrick even came in the picture. But all Garrick cares about is spending every second trying to bang her as much as possible. If that was the case, their relationship would come first and you would come second, and you would put both their feelings above yours, but all you care about is banging Nathalia, and you don't care about Dannielle getting what she wants out of this whole seeking sister-wife arrangement. And the only one who's truly benefiting from all this at the end of the day is Garrick. And that just frustrated me so much when he was trying to cry and act like that's all he cared about, when he doesn't do one single thing to help this sisterhood or help them become close. And then Nathalia said, I'm sorry, I'm going to do what I can to work on our relationship. And I guess we'll see if they do. I don't know. I felt like Garrick was just breaking down crying because he knows deep down that he's trying to push Dannielle out, and he started to actually feel bad for once about all this. I think more than anything, the reason why Garrick started breaking down is not because he saw Dannielle upset, but because he saw Nathalia starting to get extremely aggravated and upset. Because when Dannielle first started crying and asking to get closer to Nathalia, he had a straight face. He wasn't even flinching. But then when you could see Nathalia with the eye rolls and the looks of disgust, that's when he started breaking down, because he knows that Dannielle is getting in between him and Nathalia. And I think he's starting to realize he's eventually going to have to make a decision. As much as he tries to portray, that's not what he's trying to do. But that is just my personal opinion. But I feel like everything happens for a reason. And Nathalia not getting pregnant, I think she should take that as a blessing, because I don't think the Merrifields are the relationship for her. You can tell that she is not interested in polygamy or being a sister wife. It seems like she is just interested in being in a monogamous relationship, and that's how she's been treating her relationship with Garrick this whole time, and just treating Dannielle like a third wheel. This whole season, Dannielle's been more of a wingman than a wife. And you can tell that Dannielle knows deep down, too, that Nathalia is putting a wedge in her and Garrick's relationship. And I don't know. I'm curious to see how this all unfolds. I do remember seeing a few weeks ago they had a advertisement for the next week's episode, and they had another sister wife they were trying to court, and they made it look like it was going to be an episode a few weeks ago, but we've yet to see that. But I'm sure we're going to see that in the next episode or two once they finally come back to America. I feel like if it wasn't for Dannielle getting pregnant for the baby, then Garrick and Dannielle probably would have been over by now. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Check out my lashes and cosmetics at AccordingtoAmber.com. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.